Dear Boomers, I am taking a Gene Houston course about the quantum blueprint that we all carry with us, and we can learn in this one lesson, learn how to use time to create the things we wish to create in our lifetime in this world at this time. We have to watch out for the distractions. We have to watch out for other people's opinions. But in reality, Jean Houston does a good job of talking about time, or in this case, no time. She has a exercise called alternate temporal process, ATP, that she has used in her workshops many times. And it's alternate temporal process. She talks about moving beyond your usual time habits, your usual time frame of mind with regard to time, and then she suggests going into a deeper state of mind and introducing us to the fluid categories that of space and time that operate in the depths of the mind. We are so busy in this society that we skim the surface, but there's a depth to our inner psyche that we can access whenever we get overwhelmed by time, or just about any time at all that we wish to access these deeper levels of mind. I remember some of my own experiences overcoming space, time, and other things like that. I was climbing Mount Shasta, and at the base of the mountain were little people. They were like gnomes, little gnomes. They were scurrying around. They were doing their thing. Nobody else in my group saw these things. So I thought, well, maybe I am hallucinating. Not from any psychedelic drug, but from altitude. The altitude, I was convinced it was the altitude that made me see these little people. So then we climbed the mountain, which was strenuous for me. I did not take well to the altitude. Well, 10,000 foot isn't that spectacular a height for a mountain. But anyway, I overcame the altitude sickness, and when we came down, I saw the little gnomes again. They were very, very busy. They were doing something, maybe perhaps preventing a volcano. That Mount Shasta is a volcano. It could have been there were many of them. And not too long after that, I went into the town of Mount Shasta, and it might have been that very day, walked into a metaphysical bookstore, and there was a book about the little people of Mount Shasta. So I was had delved into a realm of consciousness that exists on other planes, but it exists beyond time, space, quantum, the quantum. So anyway, this alternate temporal process, ATP, reminds me of that. It reminds me of the time. My husband and I were going to see his aunt who had just had a stroke, and as we were going over the Gettysburg battlefield, a Salwit owl hit the windshield, and Tom heard a voice in his head that said, "Stop, it's an owl." And he did. We took the owl home and we cared for it until the day of Tom's aunt, whose name was Hilda's death. The owl buried itself alive in the corner of the barn on the very day that she died. And when, just before the Salwit owl hit the windshield, Tom was saying that he wished he could be closer so he could look after his aunt a little bit more better. The thing is that he had a job he had to commute to, and we were very busy, and then the owl hit, and the owl really was a bridge between all these worlds. This owl, which we called Persephone, was helping Tom stay connected to his Aunt Hilda on other levels of consciousness. So anyway, she talks about a quantum practice that has to do with, you close your eyes and you breathe deeply and follow your breath all the way and all the way out. And as you become more relaxed, you you think about 1 minute of time. And then in that 1 minute or clock measured time, you can decide what it is you want to do. Do you want to time travel across the continent of the globe? Or do you want to go into the galaxy? And do you want to time travel? Or do you want to experience a different level of mind? And in that 1 minute period, when you're called back, believe it or not, you have all of these things that happen within the time with your imagination. Once again, the imagination is everything. The imagination takes you into other realms of consciousness that expands time. It expands time. This is interesting to say the very least. So then, it is as interesting as your experiences wants it to be, and it might be that minute feels like hours and days and months. So that's one way to stretch time, and then to go over that 1 minute, what happened in that minute. It might be fun to do it in a group of people. People are doing it in this group with Jean Houston. So another thing she says is to add several minutes to more to alternate temporal process. Say 3 to 5 minutes of clock time could equal an hour or more of subjective time. You can imagine going to visit going to a guru, or going to a person who teaches the piano or the violin, or going to an instructor who teaches you something you want to learn. And when you sit at the foot of that master and you learn what it is that you want to learn, it's so much easier to learn it. And it reminds me of Joe Dispenza's idea of mental rehearsal. We mentally rehearse. In my case, I would like to know everything about affiliate marketing, and I would like to be very good at all of this stuff that takes place. I have a clarity about it all, and I practice that clarity. I actually practice the clarity of whatever it is that you wish to accomplish, and whatever it is you wish to accomplish will happen in a much more relaxed and flow way. One thing that you can do is, if you are ill, you can step out of the reality that you currently find yourself in, go to another reality where you are perfectly healthy, and then you talk and commune with that healthy self. When you come back into the body that was sick, you are actually much better than you were. And you can do this several times a day. If you are ill, it really does help with your perception. And I actually might start with a differing perception of your illness. And you expand your consciousness by doing this. And you are mentally rehearsing what it feels like to be well. And if you wish to improve your skills of what, like I just said, my affiliate marketing interests, or my YouTube interests, becoming more accomplished in my YouTube world, I can mentally rehearse that and then come back to have opportunities open up to facilitate that knowledge that I'm hoping to accomplish. So then ATP is a discipline, and as we practice it, we find that it becomes second nature. So let's say it did happen to me recently. I had a terrible fall. As I was falling, I remembered to visualize nothing happening to me whatsoever, in terms of breaking bones or that whole idea that falls kill older people. I got all of this stuff out of my mind as I was falling, and the fall felt like a long series of long, no time. And when I fell, it was a rather intense fall, I must say, but I did not have any pain. At the very most, I had a little bit of left hip pain, which I'm grappling with a little bit now. So that was an interesting experience because I just did what she tells us to do without even knowing I was doing it. Because I refuse to be partnering with these negative outcomes, the negative belief systems that we all have, but as we get older, it might even be worse because of the ageism in our society, the actually agreed upon ageism in our society. People were getting away with this, and so as I was falling, it was like, oh, and I did not have any problems. I mean, there's no way of proving it, but it's very interesting. I suggest that as you watch this, you can think of your own way of extending time, in a state of timelessness, because life is short. And the more we practice these extended eternal time practices, we are extending our lives. We are elongating time. And the more we pause and relax and take breaks, the more we can deepen into these beautiful timeless scapes to accomplish the life of our dreams, or just to enjoy life. Wake up every morning in that state of gratitude for all that is yet to come and will come. The more we believe. There is going to be a video that comes up here, right there. Take a look at it and enjoy.